Finally, we have level 4, solving equations, which is multi-step. Again, there'll be a worksheet on Moodle for you to practice, and it's going to be a mix of different types of situations where the x's are on both sides of the equal to, where you have distributive property and different things going on. So let's have a look. So first up here, we have, right, let's have a look. So we have variables on both sides of the equal to here, and we have numbers on both sides. So in this case, what we want to get the variables on one side, the variable terms, which is the 3x and the minus 4x. We need them to be together. And the minus 7 and the plus 21 need to be brought to the same side as well. So the way I would start this, I'm going to write it out here a little bit bigger. 3x minus 7 equals minus 4x plus 21. Okay, the first thing I would look at here is that I have a 3x, I have an x term on the left, and I have an x term on the right of the equal to, and I want them to be together. So what I'm going to do is, this minus 4x, I'm going to cancel that out by doing plus 4x. Minus 4x plus 4x is 0. So minus 4x and plus 4x will cancel each other. And I'm going to do the plus 4x over on this side now as well. Okay? So what am I going to get? On the left hand side, I'm going to get 3x plus 4x is 7x minus 7 equals 21. And all I did was, the minus 4x that's on the right, I added 4x so that the minus 4x and plus 4x cancel each other out. Now, I have 7x minus 7. Well, I have to reverse the minus 7 with a plus 7 first. Okay, minus 7 plus 7, so you're left with 7x equals 28. Then, divide both sides by 7. Cancel each other out, you're left with x equals 4. Okay? And that's how it works. It's just a series of steps. Remember, you can do anything you want as long as you do it to both sides. You can do whatever you want. But make sure that your goal is to isolate the x. Okay? Some things you do won't be helping you in isolating the x. But you won't necessarily be doing anything particularly wrong. So if you look at this here, if you substitute 4 in, 3x is 12 minus 7 is 5. So on the left we get 5. And on the right you would add minus 4 times 4 would be minus 16 plus 21 would be 5. So you get 5 on both sides if you substitute 4 in for x. Okay, this case here. There's a couple of different ways to look at this. Firstly, I think you see that the left-hand side is being divided by 4 and the right-hand side is being divided by 5. Okay, let's write it out. So you have 2x plus 6 over 4 equals x plus 16 over 5. Well, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. The reason why is because if I multiply by 4, it's going to cancel out this 4 on the bottom, on the left. Okay? But I'm going to have to multiply the right by it too. So I'm going to get 2x plus 6 on the left side. Now, that multiplying by 4 won't cancel out the division by 5. So imagine you're multiplying x plus 16 over 5 multiplied by 4, which is like 4 over 1. So I'm going to get 4x plus 64 over 5. Now, again, there's that 5 on the bottom there is a problem, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 5, because the 5 multiplying will reverse this division by 5. But I have to do it to both sides. So what am I going to get? I'm going to get 10x plus 30 equals, now remember they're just going to cancel each other, 4x plus 64. Now we have a situation that we had earlier on. I'm going to do minus 4x on both sides because it will help me to bring the variables together. Okay, so I'm going to be left with 6x plus 30 equals 64. Okay, now we're going to subtract 30 from each side. And we're going to be left with 6x equals 34. And then we get, oops, didn't mean to do that. Where's that? Divide both sides by 6. And you're going to get x equals 34 over 6, which is 17 over 3. Okay? And that's the answer. So that's how that works. There's also just a little trick as well that you can use, which I'm going to show you too, which will give you the same thing. If you have a fraction equals a fraction, like we have here, so we have this fraction here equals this fraction here. To solve that, that's called a proportion when you have one fraction equals another. To do that, you can just cross multiply. Cross multiplication will work. So that will take out kind of these first two steps here. Okay, these two steps that I'm just highlighting and going around in black will be reversed if you cross multiply, because if you cross multiply, what that means is you multiply 5 by 2x plus 6. So 5 times 2x plus 6 is equal to 10x plus 30. And 4 times x plus 16 is 4x plus 64. Okay, so it kind of jumps down. By noticing that a fraction equals a fraction leads to cross multiplication, you jump a couple of steps down. What have we got? Right, let's look at this. So here we have a couple of distributive property situations. So the first thing I do here is I'm going to multiply. So you have 2 and then parentheses x minus 7. And then 3 parentheses x minus 1. So I'm going to expand all of those things out. So if I multiply the 2 by x minus 7, I'm going to get 2x minus 14. The 3 by x minus 1 is going to give me 3x minus 3. Because remember, the 3 has to be multiplied by everything in the parentheses, as was the 2 earlier. It's equal to 4x plus 3. Now, on the left side here, I have a 2x and a plus 3x, so that's going to give me 5x. I have a minus 14 and a minus 3, which gives me minus 17. Okay, so I just combined like terms there. 2x plus 3x is 5x, minus 14 minus 3 is minus 17. And on the right, I end up with 4x plus 3. Now, you have variables on both sides and constant numbers on both sides. So what I'm going to do is minus 4x on each side, because that minus 4x cancels the plus 4x, which means that now there's no longer variables on the right, and I've kind of shifted them all to the left. So I'm left with x minus 17 equals 3. Now, the minus 17 is reversed by a plus 17. You can cancel, and you're going to get x equals 20. And that's it. And you can check your answer if you replace the x's with 20. It should work, or it will work if we've done it correctly. And finally, the last one. One more. So we look at this situation here. 9x minus 4 equals 4 times x minus 1 minus 5x plus 4. Okay, so first step, I'm going to just expand this distributive property here. So if 9x minus 4 equals 4 into the x minus 1, 4x minus 4 minus 5x plus 4. So all I've done is I've turned the 4 with parentheses x minus 1 into 4x minus 4. So on the right, we have a couple of like terms that can be combined. So you have 4x minus 5x gives you minus x, and minus 4 plus 4 stays as it is. Okay, or it gives you a 0, sorry. So now I want to get the x's to the same side. So the minus x, I'm going to reverse that with a plus x. Cancel. So I'm left with 10x minus 4 equals 0. So we're going to do the plus 4 on each side. So 10x equals 4. And then we divide by 10. So you're left with x equals 4 over 10, which is 2/5. And that's it. That's what they look like. They're not particularly difficult, so just work through the worksheet and make sure you're comfortable with it, and ask questions. Come for help if you need it.